I wanna switch gears. I want to now talk about the Matrix, Davis. Red pill, blue pill. They relaunched their old viral website that they did, which was pretty cool. And you can click on which pill you take, and it'll give you a different little sort of teaser. And they had the actors read, like, it takes like the time code from your computer and everything like that. Like, before we get into the full trailer and everything that has come out, pretty cool marketing campaign for this Matrix. Was it Matrix Resurrection?
Yeah, Resurrections. Yeah, I mean, to dive back into this universe, especially, it's, God, how long has it been? Like, I want to say it's been almost 20 years since the third movie.
It's been 18, yeah.
Yeah, almost. And so there is a whole new introduction that needs to be had with this generation that's coming up. And hopefully some of them have seen at least the original. But the blue pill is so big and so it's such a cool idea that the marketing team really did a good job with these quick little 30, 45 second takes on it. And it hyped me up. I'm not gonna lie, like, it was cool to see again.
Sure.
And the video game Enter the Matrix on Xbox, I think it was.
Underrated video game.
So underrated. I played the hell out of that game.
Animatrix was cool too.
Animatrix, the anime, oh my god, so good. The original, and I can get down with the second and third on, like, when I'm just trying to, kind of turn my mind off. They're not good, but it's like they're like Resident Evil movies. I can get down with them. So
no, they're not good, and we're gonna get into the trailer in a little bit. And this is, so you're right. I mean, the viral marketing is smart. It's cool. It does a good job of sort of playing onto those warm and fuzzies and nostalgia that we have from being a fan of the original movie and rooting for the original franchise and stuff like that. But that's preying upon you. That's just like when Jurassic World used the original music in their trailer. It is hitting you with cues to try and suck you back in, to make you think that you're going to get something of the level of what you enjoyed before. And I can assure you, you will not. This is the quintessential case of something that Hollywood should have left alone. It should have left it alone after the first one. The second two Matrix films are not good movies. It should have been like, what is left to the imagination? What if Hollywood left things to the imagination? There's your what if question. And so we saw with Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, just how bad it could get. Those sequels should have never happened. They should have left well enough alone there. And now 18 years later, Hollywood, lacking, devoid of creativity and originality, comes to try and get blood from a stone yet again with Matrix Resurrections. And I'm like anybody excited to see Neo and Trinity reunite and everything like that. I have strong positive feelings about those characters. I would have liked to have seen Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, probably my favorite character from the Matrix franchise.
He gone though.
I would have liked to have seen.
I bet that's his son though.
I would like to have seen I'm Too Good to Play the Red Skull, Hugo Weaving come back as Agent Smith and everything like that. But this is the quintessential example of Hollywood just trying to wring every last red cent out of a franchise. And honestly, I'm surprised it took him this long to come back to The Matrix and Keanu Reeves, because Keanu is such an internet darling that, I figured they would have tried to mine this a lot sooner.
Is exactly why this movie is happening right now, because they know how big Keanu is.
And I think John Wick. I think the success of John Wick helped this get
exactly
made.
what I'm saying. It's not just Keanu. It's his movie success as John Wick, everything else he's been doing, internet success. They're cashing him, and so is Keanu. And
feels late though. It feels like late. Like they've had time.
I'm not saying it's at the pinnacle of where he's at, like from a popularity standpoint. Like they are. It does. You're right. It does feel like they're hitting on the back end
like
of
10
the
years
game.
from now, are they going to get Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz back together for another Mummy movie? Like, they should strike now. Hollywood,
Sure.
listen. Lack of creativity aside, Hollywood, now is the time to get Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser back together for another Mummy movie. Like,
they're available.
You gotta get it on the upswing here, and that's when you can really catch lightning in a bottle. You mentioned, that you think that's gonna be Morpheus's son. What I'm seeing is that he is playing actually Morpheus himself, and maybe a younger version, either come to the present time or whatever. I'm also not ruling out, this is the hopeful, optimistic side of me, people, so take note. I actually would not be surprised if they are playing it pretty Bogart and we do get Lawrence Fishburne in this movie and everybody is just like running a misinformation campaign. That is the level of optimism that still beats in this nerd's heart, is that I would not rule that out. But this just seems another Matrix movie, completely out of the book of bad ideas. All right.
I don't think it's a terrible. Like, it just feels like it's, especially with how the storyline's looking in the trailer, it looks like they're kind of rehashing the first film. Like, they have to take the red and blue pill. They have to get, in and out of the Matrix. They have to figure it out. They don't know what's going on. Like, it kind of just looks like they're rehashing it, not to the extent of Jurassic World, like you were saying, but it's almost like a shot for shot.
Well, let's talk about that. So let's take a look at the trailer here, the Matrix Resurrections trailer. Let's take a look and react off this. And for those that are just on the pod, through the magic of radio, I'll cut this part out. But here we go.
Thomas, you seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams. Am I crazy?
We don't use that word in here.
Hi.
Have we met?
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
And if you go chasing rabbits,
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
and you're going to fall.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me, no?
When logic and proportion have fallen, so be dead. And the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queens are with her head. Remember what the Dharma said. Feed your
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
All right. The Matrix Resurrections trailer. Your thoughts, Davis?
Again, and if you're watching on the tubes, the song choice, as we were talking about. I mean,
Yeah, White Rabbit,
I
Jefferson Starship or Airplane. Rather.
yes, I mean it's a very chilling song, especially when you're dealing with the Matrix, because there is the imagery of follow the white rabbit down the hole, and it's great, and it works for this trailer really well, and it probably hypes it up too much because like we were saying before the trailer, there's a lot of shot for shot stuff. I don't think they're really going to change that much from the original story of like figuring out, oh, what's the Matrix, what's going on, who am I? I'm the one. It's really, to me at this point, that's the story we're getting. It's just like a rehash of kind of like an origin almost, but like a re-origin.
So I would be more on board with this if they were sort of pulling what other, like Highlander ignored Highlander 2 and
so there's like 10 Highlanders, right?
Stop it. Even like that unfortunate new Halloween movie decided to ignore a bunch of its sequels and sort of be a direct sequel to the first one. I think I would be more into this if this was just going to be a direct sequel to The Matrix. And it picks up from there and something happened where they got him again. Like the promise of the end of the first Matrix, it is that like this is why a sequel never made sense to me, because like, dude, we got all the powers, baby. We're at Endgame now. Like we're just gonna mop up these guys now. Like Neo's the one. He's got control in everything, and immediately you undermine that premise with the second and third Matrix movies and stuff like that. It's like he's back to like not being a sort of fulfilling his potential of being the one and stuff like that. And they start adding all these things to, it's just like, that's why there were no more, he was seeing the zeros and ones. He could pick bullets out of the air and all that stuff. It was over. We won. This being a direct sequel to the first one where somehow they got him back plugged into the Matrix or whatever would be more interesting to me than what it actually is, which is a sequel to those two unfortunate films that came afterward. Great trailer, like unequivocally a well-made trailer, for garnering that hype, that nostalgia. I mean, it's a sack full of member berries for you, and the perfect song use and everything like that. But it's still a terrible idea to go back after 18 years and 18 years and not one but two bad sequels.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden try and mine this for more.
It feels like, it definitely feels like cash grab for everybody that went through the original trilogy. However, it be an introduction for the new generation, which, if I would hope
everything's streaming, isn't it, on HBO Max? Go watch the original.
Who knows where it is? If you haven't seen it,
HBO Max. Go watch the original.
Yeah, go watch the originals. 10 through 18-year-olds, and then you don't need to see this because you've probably already seen it. So if you watch the original, the one thing I did notice from the trailer, I'm not gonna lie, some of the visuals for being 18, 20 years later, don't look that much better.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of blur where, I don't know, it didn't seem finished. And especially for shots that you're going to show in a trailer, it seemed very underdone for this time of film. So
I gotta say, I really think it was a well-made trailer, and as much as I want to see Lawrence Fishburne, new Morpheus looks badass as hell. I do hold out hope that we get Lawrence Fishburne coming into it, but
we'll get a remaster of Enter the Matrix instead of Knights of the Old Republic.
Dude, let's make what we got going on with another Animatrix, perhaps. But new Morpheus. I thought that's my guy Candyman. So
no, is that who it is?
Yeah, dude. But the Candyman was not his problem. He's cool.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I didn't know he was doing other stuff.
Yeah, he's good though. I'm a fan of his. So in terms of his involvement being like a younger Morpheus or a, whatever, rejuvenated, resurrected Morpheus. Not a bad call. All right, that is going to do it for this edition of the Best Damn Nerd Show. Have a great week, everyone. Remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud.